I thought the State of the Union address was tonight, so my mistake if anybody was relying on my information when it came to watching this thing that happened last night. It was less than an hour long. It was just the overview on this. If you just want the quick 30-second elevator pitch on it, it was the thing that happened. It was more or less. It's like you see the cute little abbreviation, right? SOTU, State of the Union, right? Well, for the first 10 minutes, it was just the state of the Ukraine. It's like, okay, cool. You should probably address, the whole U. And it is Joe, after all. And he did have a couple of fucking gaffes and some stumbles and fumbles and old Bidenisms or whatever the media wants to call it. And I don't know, the stick that it's getting right now, it's either on one side of the aisle from the left, from CNN and from MSNBC. Oh, Uncle Joe's back. It was such a enlightening speech, and it was just full of hope and excitement and unity, whatever the fuck else they want to say. It was just a fucking nonsense takes, but obviously that's what you come to expect. Or then on the right, which is another thing that you just come to expect, and we're going to be going in on both sides of this fucking monstrosity that's gone on. They're saying, oh, it was the worst State of the Union speech that's ever been given. Literally, we're barely, by the time that this gets posted and shit, it'll be about 24 hours since everything went live, but it was a thing that happened. I watched and listened to it, and I just noticed a couple of weird things. And the most important thing that came out of the State of the Union address was something that Joe didn't even say. And of course, we're just going to go down. We're going to take a look at what he said, not quite beat for beat, because there was nothing that was unexpected that came out of it. Now, of all the speeches that were delivered on the night in regards to the State of the Union, it was the best delivered one because there were some rebuttals. The official Republican rebuttal was delivered by the governor of Iowa, who is just a bundle of fucking fabricated charisma. Ugh. And then Rashida Tlaib's unhinged nonsense. We're the Workers' Party. Sure you are, sweetheart. If you're trying to take your cues from communism right now, oh, we're the Workers' Party, you'd think that you'd be a little bit thinner, if you're out there tilling the fields, being a one with the working man. Sure. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene for the, I don't know which, the Crazy Caucus? I don't know. I like her ideas, okay, and she's a pretty funny person, but when she's just reading a basic bitch rebuttal that somebody wrote for her, and it's like, well, how we got to address communism in China, and all the same fucking nonsense talking points. We have critical race theory in our public schools, and that's bad, and it's like, you don't hit any of the fucking talking points, and it's like, the political system is so fucking stupid. And I know I'm not breaking any new ground when it comes to that, making that assertion, but it's just so fucking obvious when these people come up here and deliver their canned speeches. It's like one side has charisma. They have the ability to rally their base. And on the other side, they have the ideas and the likely most successful way to run a good country. The ways and the policies that actually work and, create economic growth and can stimulate, just an overall better country. But when it comes to delivering that message, you trip over your own fucking dicks and you can't do it. It's fucking infuriating. But yeah, here's just some of the, God, I can't even say highlights, can't say lowlights, just some of the lights from the speech, okay? Yeah, so Biden was supposed to deliver his address at 9 o'clock Eastern. He gets up there at about 11 minutes after, which is, fine for him. Normally he's about an hour late to anything that he ever does. Spends, like I said, the first 10-ish minutes talking about Ukraine and, oh yeah, we're not going to let any Russian planes over our American airspace. It's like, okay, cool. What does that have to do with the United States of America? You addressed Medicare, and it's like, oh, we need to get insulin. I got a kid up there in the rafters. You guys smell him too? I know, it's just so sweet. His parents got to pay a lot for insulin, and you know what, if somebody would have signed an executive order that I didn't rip up to make insulin costs lower, I just did that because I'm just a petulant fucking child, like him up there in the rafters. Did I mention him before? But no, his parents got to pay so much for insulin. We got to make Big Pharma pay their fair share. And it's like, good fucking Christ, dude. If you wouldn't have just been on a unhinged TDS rant on your first couple of days in office back in early 2021, that kids' parents wouldn't be paying 10 times more for the insulin, or anybody who requires shots for diabetes in the States, the one that, you can't do too much about, not the one being overly fat. We should work on the prices of treadmills and keeping people healthy that way. But no, don't want to talk ill of your base anyways. Glossing over taxes and other nonsense like that, extending childcare credits and talking about roads and shit, and we're gonna work on infrastructure and take a look at who Jill has up there. Brought a guest or something. It's not the normal guest that she likes to bring over. Oh, that's a woman. She's white. Cuck joke. But that very organic whistleblower from, a couple months ago, the one, Francis Hogan, Hulk Hogan there, the one who blew the whistle on Facebook. And it's like, there's just so much radicalization, and Mark Zuckerberg should be held accountable for the fact that I lost a friend to far-right disinformation on Facebook. What? That's the same whistleblower who got congressional hearings because she so bravely came forward and has a long history of working with big tech firms. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But she was there, just showing how wonderful this State of the Union address was. But honestly, like, we could go down point for point, and Breitbart does have it all broken down there. And, oh yeah, Chunk Uger wasn't happy about it. He's like, you should be talking about minimum wage, of course. You had people vote against it from Delaware. It was dumb. People want $15 an hour. You don't understand how economies work. We get it. Go back to dropping the N-bomb and saying something about the non-existent Armenian genocide, right, dude? And then, of course, yeah, you just got the fucking basic bitch takes out there. I was like, oh, see, Biden says, even though he was against the police during the campaign, he was out there also saying you need to defund the police. But now he said close to the end of his speech, he said we need to fund the police. Duh. And it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, midterms are coming up, and he's got to start to try to look at least a little bit more moderate, okay? But how did he end his speech? Because, like I said, God, if I was to give it a number grade, it was like a 4, okay? He didn't have as many stumbles as I anticipated, okay? He had about the same amount of energy that you'd anticipate. It went as long as you thought, and it covered all the same points that it was going to anyways. You knew that there was going to be some fabrications of the truth. You knew that he was going to talk extensively about Ukraine, and he would just magically say, oh, look at everybody's not wearing masks. Funny how that shit happens. We'll be talking about the fact that, COVID's just magically gone all of a sudden. And now we get to spend time together in the house. It's very important that all the important people don't have to wear masks anymore. But how he ended his speech, may God protect our troops. Isn't that funny? Isn't that just kind of one of those Freudian slips out there? Isn't it normally, and God bless the country and God bless America, isn't that normally how a president would be closing out any of his important speeches? But no, it's may God protect our protest our troops. I don't know if that's a typo or if that was just one of Biden's brain typos. But again, he's got war on the mind, and at a certain age, when you have certain medical conditions, you just there's a one track when it comes to mental aptitude, and he's on that one right now. So whatever. And then the 3 closing words: "Go get him." Who's him? I'm gonna guess it's probably Putin. Go get him, troops. No, not announcing anything yet. Who fucking knows at this point? But yeah, like I said, it was a 4 of a speech. He just lied about certain things. He didn't make a total asshole out of himself. It was fine, but it's totally forgettable, okay? But what actually came out of the State of the Union address? Nancy Pelosi doing weird things at weird times, because Biden's out there. He's talking about, we got burn pits and troops out there, and they got the bad smoke in the air, and they're breathing it in, and that's real bad, and we should be looking after the veterans. Something that Barack Obama tasked me with back when I was vice president. I did a real fucking shit job. And if we're talking about vice presidents doing shit job, I know she's trying to blend into the background, but let's give it up for Kamala. It's like, it's funny, right? Because she didn't move that much during the speech or anything like that, and The only time that she really made any sort of movement, which I won't bother bringing up because it was just worthless and whatever. She's just sitting there blending into her big old fucking chair. And then when Joe Biden says, we need to pay attention to the Iranians over there getting bombed by Russia right now. He misspoke when he was supposed to be saying Ukrainians, but it came out Iranians because, like he said, war's on the mind right now for the old man. But she mouthed Ukrainians because she's about fed up with all this stuff anyways. But odd wardrobe choice, to say the least. She just kind of looks like a floating head back there. Kind of emblematic of how she got to that position anyways. But about Nancy Pelosi here, okay? Speaker Pelosi drew massive attention on social media during President Biden's State of the Union address Tuesday evening after oddly giddy reaction to Biden remarks about burn pits in the Middle East. It was fucking weird, okay? There was a lot of other weird reactions too, like Chuck Schumer standing up and clapping for the fact that Build Back Better was dead, or the American Rescue Plan. It was, it didn't work, and he goes up to clap and then he just sits down awkwardly and then just waits to the end of the sentence and then gets back up and claps again. It's like, listen, okay, you gotta fucking remember your cue and follow through on it. They're stupid, but what else did you expect? All of these 70-plus-year-old fuckers just up there trying their best to not shit their depends. With somebody who shit their mind, Pelosi, during his address, the president outlined 4 items in the unity agenda for the nation that included support for U.S. veterans. My administration is providing assistance to job training and housing, and now helping lower-income veterans get VA care debt-free. That's fine. Should have been doing that a long time ago, but whatever. Our troops in Iraq and Afghanistan faced many dangers. Most of them I inflicted myself, or at least voted for them. One was stationed at bases and breathing in toxic smoke from burn pits. The president continued to applause. Weird. Many of you have been there. Maybe that's why Pelosi wanted some recognition or something. It's like, who even knows at this point? But I'm just going to play the video because that's a nice still frame there. It's like Biden's just staring off in the distance. Kamala looking like she would rather be anywhere else. And Pelosi rubbing her hands together like, I don't know, she's trying to get circulation. It's fucking weird. But I'm not going to play with any audio. But yeah, it's like troops in Iraq. And then all of a sudden, what does she do? She just... yeah, talking about burn pits, and then she starts to rub her hands together, and what? I don't know, I guess I would have used all the Ritalin on Uncle Joe, and they forgot to provide Nancy with enough to make it through the speech. But like I said, the rebuttals afterwards, it just highlights the missed opportunities from both sides of the aisle, okay? Because the address was there, okay? There were holes that you could have drove a truck through without any honking or anything like that, and you better fucking keep it that way, right? No, but then you have, Kim Reynolds up there, and oh yes, it was so great, it was so stunning, but it was delivered robotically. It was just hitting those same old standard fucking establishment Republican talking points, okay? Socialism, critical race theory in our schools, crime is up. Instead of offering solutions, you know what, instead of you just trying to show a fucking crumb of personality, no, you just stick a woman up there because that's the thing to do. We're going to own the libs by just playing into their identity politics cards. What the fuck are you doing, okay? No, okay? You have the one person, you have the one group of people who actually have some fucking personality, and you lambast them for making a valid point at the State of the Union. Like I said, there was one takeaway that was there, and that's Lauren Boebert doing something, okay? Seeing the nonsense that's going on up there, okay? Listening to the lies coming out of Joe's mouth, and she pipes up on it, and everybody boos her down because, we're the Republican Party, we don't do that, we lose with dignity, boo, hiss. It's like, fuck off. Lauren Boebert doubled down Wednesday on her heckling of President Biden during the State of the Union address. Heckling's a strong word, by the way. Over his chaotic Afghanistan withdrawal that left 13 U.S. soldiers dead. He didn't want to mention that when he was talking about helping out our veterans. Yeah, helping them into fucking body bags, you old cretin. The left is pissed because the left, and the establishment Republicans that are also there. Are pissed. I called out Biden's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan that left 13 of America's finest in a flag-draped coffin. Yeah, over the recap, okay, because that's what the State of the Union address is supposed to be, a recap of the year of the United States. And what was the biggest fucking disaster that Biden presided over? And you know what? Just quickly got swept out of the headlines because Omicron is coming. Oh my God, everybody just take cover on that. But the failure that was fucking Afghanistan, not a peep outside of saying, oh, veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan, you know, those two failures, no, but we're gonna look after them now. But there was a suicide bomber that left 13 armed service members dead and many more fucking injured as well. Didn't want to mention any of that. Didn't want to ring up any of their names. No, didn't want to have any of their surviving family members come down as your guests of honor. No, Facebook whistleblower and some fucking kid that you can have stand up nonsense. If you actually cared about veterans, you might have done something when it comes to that. Just show that their sacrifice for your ill-conceived fucking plans wasn't in vain. But I understand why you didn't. Then you'd have to recognize that abject fucking failure, and another reason why you have high 30s in your approval rating, you fucking dunce. Anyways, they're mad because a speech was interrupted. Not really. There was a pause, and she took it. Good on her. Asked the families who lost their loved ones how interrupted their lives are now. Based. The night before, Boebert shouted at the president as he spoke about veterans' exposure to toxic burn pits, mentioning his late son Beau Biden in the process, because he always does that. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, it's sad your kid died of a fucking brain tumor, and you're currently living through one. But it's the same fucking thing over and over and over again. It's like having an argument with Hannah Gatsby, and then all of a sudden she'll just, oh, well, I got raped, and it's like, can't criticize me because I've been through shit. Fuck off. But yeah, here's what Biden said at the time, and I'll put everything into context here. They come home, many of the world's fittest and best trained warriors in the world, never the same, who always voted to send them out there and come back with those numb limbs, the dizziness, and the headaches. That's you, Joe. We can check the records. A cancer. Put them in a flag-draped coffin. And now what? The only thing that you have surplus on right now are coffins for armed service members, so that's why you're so giddy to fucking interact with Russia right now? Is that what you're trying to do? Is that what you're trying to get across? But yeah, after the pregnant pause, because I don't know, the teleprompter wasn't rolling quick enough for old Uncle Joe. You put them in there, 13 of them, yelled Boebert. Reference to the 13 deaths of the servicemen and women who were killed in bombing at Kabul's airport. Bombing, just a simple bombing. It wasn't a suicide bombing by a member of ISIS, right? No? Okay. Drew shouted objections from other members. Oh my God, Ruben Gallego, resident fathead from Arizona, someone that lived next to a burn pit. Well, you probably should have moved. I don't appreciate. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert had to interrupt. It looks like you were really paying close attention because it was just Lauren Boebert, by the way. And that was just a obviously out of context picture that you nicely captioned that with. Twitter's just as cancerous as a fucking burn pit. Had to interrupt the first time ever burn pits were mentioned at the State of the Union address. Oh my God. Or I guess maybe he's got something going on in those old fucking headaroo, because it looked like the grammar check was out that day. Had to interrupt the first time ever burn pits are mentioned in a State Union of address. Best of luck on those toxic fumes. Come from your wife's box. So yeah, they got dragged. Well, Taylor Greene shouted out, build the wall, after Biden said, we need to secure the border. And maybe that's why Kamala was dressed as she was, because she was trying to avoid any responsibility there. She is still the border czar, by the way, doing a great job. That even Biden had to admit, oh, we need to secure the border. And then they're like, build the wall. And it's like, no, we don't want to. That'd be an admission. But John Thune, okay, you know what? A centrist Republican, which I'm sure CNN's going to be talking about when the Republicans invariably take back the White House during 2020, or not the White House, sorry, but Congress during midterms and whatever. He'll be one of those ones that crosses over and sides with the Democrats because he wants to appear as a centrist and level-headed and wants to be important. No, he'll hop on CBS mornings and say that the antics of Boebert and Greene are inappropriate. That's not the Republican Party, I know. Yeah, professional losers. State of the Union speech, whether you agree with the president or not, it is an opportunity to show the American people the respect that the office deserves. Oh, fuck off. Somebody's making a mockery out of the position, okay? And we have many other things that we can look into as to the validity of said president. But with all of that stuff aside, oh yeah, you see these smooth-brained takes out there. It's like, oh, well, I don't respect the president, but I do respect the office of the president. What a fucking fence-sitting take that is. He's the fucking dude, okay? Biden's the president, and the president is Biden. They're synonymous with one another, okay? This isn't like an actor in a fucking movie or something. And it's like, I like the character, but I don't like the guy playing it. This is why the Republicans are just such a fucking embarrassment of a party. So yeah, Green delivered a thing called a rebuttal, and at least she wasn't dressed in the colors of Ukraine like dozens of other members in the fucking house. That made me sick to my stomach. It's supposed to be the State of the fucking Union of the United States, not how to be a professional war hawk. And then Boebert actually, you know what, fighting back and using the tactics of AOC and her ilk, because you remember the emotional outbursts. Kind of one that was Nancy Pelosi after everything was all said and done, you know, on camera ripping up Trump's speech, and the squad dressing in white and scowling and hissing and booing. But no, it's bad because moderately attractive Republican lady says something. Okay, I get it. But like I said at the top, if the Republicans think that, we're the party of dignity and respect, and that's the way that we're going to take back the White House and we're going to take back Congress, you're out of your fucking mind. You're in a dirty culture war right now, and if you don't fucking recognize it, get the fuck out of the way. More people like her. Fewer people like John Thune and Mitt Romney and Dan Crenshaw and those fucking rhinos. Suck a dick and move on. Well, let's talk about the coof, because there's been some massive developments in the science lately, in case you didn't know, so we better talk about that. And with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.